Hi, James here with another Soaring video. In this video you will see me flying in a recent UK Virtual Gliding Association multiplayer task. Although we will be using the VATSIM multiplayer servers, you won't see any interaction with the VATSIM controllers because, as is usual with gliders, we will not be flying through any controlled airspace. This task is designated as a club class task. And by that it means that it typically has a medium to easy rating of difficulty. Also, it's restricted to glider models with a British Gliding Association handicap less than 97. So I'll be flying the ASK21 for this task, and which has a BGA handicap of 85, I believe. Now the video will commence with my Aerotow launch. I was the second glider to launch in this event. Yeah, Golf Victor Golf Alpha Lima, ready for an Aerotow to 3000. Flight plan filed, squawking mode Charlie. Spoilers closed and locked, cable on please.
Roger, Golf Alpha Lima, take up slack when ready.
Taking up slack. All out, all out.
All out, 1947, enjoy your flight. Board, you ready for launch?
Yes.
You can see I'm struggling a bit here with the crosswind on the takeoff. Turning crosswind now. Whoa, bit of yawing there. Too hard on the inside pedal. Turning downwind.
Well, I'll go ahead and do it.
I don't see you anywhere near me.
We're all set. All checks done. Launching to 2000 on a winch. Ready to go.
Roger, November, driver 1. All is clear above behind, 1 half to 9 o'clock. Keep an eye out and take up slack when ready.
Well, it's all over the place today.
Very good.
Up and down, up and down. My tug seems to be struggling with that 22 knot wind today. Okay, 1,000 feet to go. It's time to look for thermals ahead.
All out.
All out at 1950, enjoy your flight. Thanks to you. 1950 your flight.
if all else fails, I could use those hills over to my right for some ridge lift. But there seems to be a few thermals around today, so I should be okay for getting up to start height. Okay, coming up to launch height, all clear on the right. Cable gone, retrim. I think we're in a thermal. I'll start with a shallow turn just to sort of suss out where the core is likely to be. Punch up into the wind a bit here. It is pretty strong today, so I'm likely to get blown out the back of the thermal fairly easily. So I'm going to compensate for the wind on just about every turn on a day like this, unless I get a really strong thermal where the lift sort of compensates enough that you can delay wind compensation for a turn or two. As you can see, the scenery here in South Africa is nothing to really write home about. It's just sort of default FSX scenery with Orbix global textures. Yeah, could really do with an Orbix regional treatment. You need a lot of patience when you're climbing thermals, and a lot of concentration as well. Just spotted another glider off to my left there as we were coming round that time. Looks like he might be higher than I am. What we're trying to do here is to store as much energy as we can into the glider in the form of height before we cross the start line of the task. In class tasks, there's normally not any height restriction for crossing the start line, other than the fact that this particular glider is not equipped to fly in cloud, so we're more or less restricted by cloud base today at 11,000 feet, I think it is, or thereabouts. Okay, we're coming up to cloud base now. I need to figure out where I am relative to the start line at this stage. Try and work out how many more turns I can do before I get sucked into this cloud. I've got to try and avoid getting sucked in if I can.
Gosh,
I
you've
need
got
to
up really
get the
high,
nose
Tony.
down now, speed up,
Yeah.
and avoid losing too much visibility.
It's all gone white.
Apparently I'm not the only one having visibility problems at the moment.
Go for a second. Oh, there it is.
I'm heading south now to get behind the task start line. There's another glider just crossing at my 1 o'clock there. Obviously just starting the task. It was probably Tony who launched ahead of me. Trying to conserve my precious height now before I get started on the task. Okay, we're behind the start line now, so we can start to head for the ridge now while crossing the line at the same time. That was XE telling me I've crossed the line and I'm now on task. I'm going to head for that spur coming off at right angles from the ridge. It might give me that little bit of extra ridge lift before I get onto the main ridge. Oh well, that was a failed experiment. I hit some massive sink back there. Here we go, we're on the ridge proper now. And I can see Tony ahead of me. Looks like he's quite a long way ahead of me. And higher. I will try and climb to the top of the ridge first, and then I can, once I get into the zone up there, I can build up my speed and try and catch Tony. Okay, this downward slope on the ridge top will allow me to build up some speed. Parts of this ridge line don't have a favourable wind angle, so I'm not getting the lift I would like. Now I have to make a V&E reduction given my altitude on the top of this ridge is around 10,000 feet, give or take 1,000, as it varies along the ridge line. The V&E speed, of course, if you don't know what that is the speed or velocity that I cannot exceed. Since the indicated airspeed reads low at altitude, I'm required to make a bit of a reduction to allow for the altitude. So I'm going to limit myself to around 135 knots absolute maximum today, hopefully. But I can't sort of keep my eye on the gauge all the time. I've got to watch what I'm doing. But that should be ample to keep me safe and avoid overstressing the glider. a delicate balancing act between maintaining enough height to stay in the zone on the top of the ridge and putting as much or utilising as much speed as possible. I think the key here is smoothness more than anything. I'm trying to avoid excessive G-forces when I slow down and speed up, which rob the glider of energy.
Oxygen on.
Now I've got to be careful here, slow down a bit, make sure I don't miss the waypoint, which is just off to my right. There we go, we've just nailed that one. So now we can get back onto the ridge again.